Alright, we're back. We suffered our first crash after about 2 hours of experience dungeon. Really solid. We managed to sell some meditation 6s for extra OC, so that was great. Hey, Volter, welcome back, welcome back. So we were talking about fiery dark builds, right? That was the topic. Holy fuck, channel 1. Hey, Pat, how you doing? I'm glad we crashed at the end of the dungeon, not at the start. Or like, you know, like that's better out than in, Shrek always says. So in terms of a fiery dark build, like, it comes down to what weapons you're using, like what mags you're using, what do you have access to. You said you had access to knowledge mags, so... Oh, I know, Pat, I know, I'm not using I'm using a spear. I'm using a spear in cold hard cash. Thank you for your concern. We're doing 30-second runs in this dungeon. But right, in terms of fire and dark, did I find out anything else? No, I haven't found anything else yet. No, I'll let you guys know if I find out anything. What was I gonna say? Right. So in terms of a fire dark build, if I were you, I would run. Oh, absolutely. It used to work like that when they first came out. Like on PC, you could go into a dungeon, eat all your tickets in the dungeon, and then get the pooled experience bonus and get the experience ticket bonus. Like, you could have 100 tickets and it would turn into like 1,000, if not more. Like if you had 100 tickets and you went into the dungeon and you consumed all 100, you would get 1 billion experience 3 times. No, that at the end. But if you were on experience boost, that value would be multiplied by, like, let's say 400%. So times 5. So you would get 15 billion experience once you finished experience dungeon, essentially. More or less. Like, that's how it was on PC when experience tickets first dropped, and then they had to change how they worked. Because they would just add experience to the pool, because the game's always had experience tickets. Experience tickets were part of, like, an OC campaign back in the day. Like, they gave them to you and it was like 5,000 experience. Then they just re-brought the idea and it was like a shit ton more. So you were saying something about a fire build that didn't stay on my screen very fucking long. Your fire build is to that. Okay, I have to change it to all chat because it's censoring your guys. I don't know. I have to find a new chat. That's why. I have to go to the new stream. Is this the new stream or is this the old stream? This is the old stream. How do you guys navigate phones? There we go. I was originally trying to put together a budget fire dark build without the emanation, but the issue is that I lack either skill force or a lower fire element in like 200 plus dark. Right. So what I would do is, if you have access to knowledge. Now, what class are you playing? Why is this invisible? Whatever. Right. I mean, we can't cry over spilt milk, right? What it is, what it is. You're playing Axe, so that's a problem right there. Like, axe is fire. What are your options for fire? Like, the thing that cuts the world in half, or there's that charge Ogi, and then there's blazing flame smash or whatever. That's your problem right there. Right. Right. Like, that's like trying to play mountain on spear. That's like trying to, because axe's negative is fire. I understand your desire to have it. But apart from a couple sublimes that axe has, and that one crag blade or whatever it's called, fire's not really your forte. I have played with numerous axe users that did just have a sword. That is a clear-cut example. Or even having... right, it's like trying to play Rain on Sword, absolutely. Like, in the long run, it might be better to just build a sword or build a wand realistically and just slap that on for when you need it. Like, we were discussing this earlier, but in terms of like universal skills, if you had made yourself a wand with like triple fireball and you could just land like cap, like, you don't need anything else. Like fireball, fireball, fireball. If you have any extra sublimes or anything, you said your budget, so you probably don't have a lot of sublimes. But like Crimson Ray, like that stuff exists. You can put Lance. Like, that's pretty much it, right? It's just Lance on Axe. Like, but in terms of Axe, if you wanted to, you could just use double Lance. That'd be it. Like double Lance and whatever else you had. Oh no. But that's the dilemma here. Okay. Oh, so who deleted something from my favorites? Why would people do this? Right, exactly. Why not a spear? I'm offended. I'm not really. Frig. On one hand, you have the Virgin Aqua Needle. Hits at ranged, is too scared to get close, easily interrupted, has a long time for all the arrows to come out, fucking garbage skill. And then on the right you have the Chad Water Dragon Spear, been here since OG, has like 4 different skill cards just to give you Water Dragon 6, Water Dragon 7, Water Dragon 4, they're all right there. Chad Water Dragon goes on every single time. Like, you don't even have to worry about Water Dragon, it just goes on there. Water Dragon has its own Sublime, there's no Aqua Needle Sublime. And then you have, like, Tidal Wave Sublime, which is just Water Dragon from the ground and the sky at the same time. Literally, it's Chad Water Dragon and the Virgin Aqua Needle. It took a whole Vanguard to make Aqua Needle relevant. It just took one blue-haired kid on the internet to make Water Dragon relevant. Like, that's how it goes, man. That's the meme. Absolutely. Be a Chad, use Water Dragon. Just put on a rain Chiami and just fucking muscle and crit your way through everything. Don't give a fuck what's there. Just beat the shit out of it. It's like, oh, this enemy is like resistant to water? Guess what? It's part pierce. Oh, your little virgin bow can't break through this because it's like water 100% or some stupid bullshit. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's pierce. But anyway, if you're interrupted, it doesn't matter. Fuck. I'm just trying to go on a tangent and just like make a funny Spear's the best kind of video, but literally, play Spear. It's fun. Oh, it's better than Wand. We have physical element. That's the most stupid argument I've ever heard in my entire life. Element stacking is good, yeah, but can you hit physically? Like, fuck off. Now, Rapid Shot, now that's an argument. Rapid Shot's really fucking good. But have you ever used, like, Soaring Shadow Strike Sublime? That shit hits hard. Look, where's Rapid Shot Sublime? It doesn't exist. It's not worth it. They got Meteor Rain Shot Sublime. Blaze Sanction, more like Lance of Flames 2. It's just Water Dragon painted red. It's literally all they had to do. Oh, Ice Dragon Spiral is just Water Dragon Sublime but ice. Everything's based off Water Dragon in this game. I'm just messing. Look at that. I can block like frame 0 out of Water Dragon, Ice Dragon Spiral. Look at that. Canceled itself. It's fan-fucking-tastic. It canceled itself. Fuck, you're gonna play bow? Might as well ban yourself. Fucking put a thumbtack on your R1 so you don't get banned. Jesus. You have no idea where to go now. Well, I think, like, unless you're using universal skills, like, fire can work on axe. It's as easy as getting this Akane Fire Beast skill. Bam. Beautiful. 1,000,000 damage. Look at me. I'm Poggers, baby. Bam. GG. 2,000,000. Like, it's very... axe can do fire, they just gotta get the universal skills. Like, if you had... Tenryu Mega Flame, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Like, but realistically though, any class can do anything if universals support them, like Akane Fire Thunder Beast or Ensemble of Flames. Like, that thing slaps hard. Right. You just like the opinion of having Dark Fire, and there's nothing wrong with that. So have you tried okay, in all honesty, here's my approach to playing Fire on Spear before Emanation, before Katerion, before Kotanoa. Like, when I had to fight, what's his name? When I had to fight Makami Oguchi, I used, like, 2 Cielo, like, I used my Cielo mag for Dark and Crit, because I have it ornamented with a shit ton of crit, and it has a lot of defense. And then I used, like, I think an Ice mag or something with Ice to protect myself. But basically, I just did, like, 2 Skill Force mags, a Chiami of fire, and a Burai with fire on it. Like, that's my biggest advice, is just get yourself a Chiami with the element you need. Like, if you can get yourself a double element Chiami or a double element Burai, that's fine. That mag is going to make on your build is going to get you through this. Now, a Chiami might not be the best for Axe because you don't really have multi-hit, especially not in terms of fire. In that case, a Fire Burai would be kind of better because you get that attack bonus plus you're getting element, and that's something. Not only that, like, if you had a Himono mag with, like, triple fire on it, well, that'd be awesome. Right, they absolutely are. Absolutely. Especially now that, like, in the beginning they weren't really that good because you didn't have enough skill force to really incorporate them into your build. I mean, Chami was always fucking good, but Burai was nice for, like, an Invig or a Meditation or something of that nature. But in the long run, now that we have enough skill force from other things, like, you can just fit those on. It's fine. Right, and it's really good for the long game too, because once you get an element Chiami or an element Burai, that never goes away. It never becomes irrelevant unless they power creep it. And by all means, yes, please power creep Chiami. You nerfed it, like, it's not gonna happen, right? Like, it's actually a universal investment. Like, if someone were to fully invest in fuse mags, we had fuse mags, we ornamented them, But eventually Tempests were just so good that you forsook those ornamented fused and just ran the Tempests. Or maybe you ran 2 Tempests and a double crit fuse, whatever you needed to do. I ran 3 Tempests and a double crit Sparrow, or whatever. I literally walked around with like 12 crit, and like I had like 20 crit and like 300 crit force for like but more of like 2 years, and I did fine. Like just because I had so much multi-hit, it didn't matter. And that lies into the same argument I make for Purgatorium mags. As hard as they are to farm, like as crazy as it is to get them, a Purgatorium mag will be with you forever. A weapon is only with you until it gets power crept. Mags like generally don't get power crept that often. And if they do, then that's great. You just get the new mag. But like I don't think anybody was truly upset that their emanation is like replaced with a Kotanoa. Like, because they were both a bitch to farm. They weren't just handed to you. Like, people that made the Fresh Blood Black bullshit mags from Ivus, they were probably mad when, like, Knowledges came. Because they completely power crept that shit. Like, completely destroyed it. Completely, like, just BTFO'd it. Like, it's gone. Goodbye. You'll never use this thing ever again in your life. Right? Like... And that's a thing to consider. We have 140 potential levels, yet the weaponry is only just recently reaching 135. At some point, yeah, people used Fresh Blood. Back when we didn't have Knowledges, but we were trying to do Palace Rain Oni. People did have Fresh Blood Black. They did. Absolutely. Like, it's like now looking at Fusion Bear and comparing it to Kotanoa in terms of wind, or comparing it to Fused Bear or Fusion Bear Gold or whatever. Like, it's not the same. Hell, even look at the horse mags before the energy nerf. Like, I think Cyberstep realized that's like one of the first times they're like, why aren't people running horses? They're like, only sword users are running horses. Like, there's no need to run horses. Like, I feel like they looked at horses and said, why aren't people using the mags? They looked at like people's builds and it's like, well, they have too much chakra. They have 3 ornamentation slots that can't be used. And then they nerfed them down to 45 chakra. And made them like immensely viable just by nerfing their chakra cost. 10%. Right, exactly. Like, now, Kotanoa Mag also gives you 10% attack. Like, that's... Like, a Kotanoa is a Burai plus all this element and defense and all this stacking and shit. But true. We got a lot of comments here. I gotta look at them. I appreciate them. What would you even want on a Supreme Axe, then, if you can't access event skills? So, on a Supreme Axe, it's a double Collapsing Blade weapon with double lance, or it's a double collapsing weapon with Day 10 Ryu and Abyssal Embrace. But if you don't have access to those, then it's a double collapsing blade, double lance weapon. That's what it is. And I have one of those. Like, I made 2 Supremes for myself. I made one that's all fire and double lance, and then I have one that's all dark and double dark. But if you just had one on Axe, it's double Collapsing Blade and then double Lance. Like, you could put, like, in a perfect world, you'd have, like, Blazing Strike 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. And then you'd have, like, Collapsing, and then Fire. Like, that's what you would have. That's what you'd do. Right, like, I have a Supreme Spear, and it's literally Collapsing Blade, Taunt, and then it's like Collapsing Blade 7, Collapsing Blade 6, and some filler skill, and then like double lance. That's literally what I have. Or no, I have the Supreme skill. No, I have two different... I don't know what the fuck I have. I have two Supremes. I have one that has the laser beam on it. You're going to have your unique skill as well. That's worth considering. I don't know how good that is on Axe. But Axe does have its unique skill, and I don't know how good it is, but you could run the risk of putting a collapsing on it if you have the access to those skill cards, but skill changing it means getting rid of that skill indefinitely. Yes, it does. Supreme takes the incense. If you don't have the incense, you can't make a Supreme. And they're not tradable. Imagine if incenses were tradable. I'd be selling them for 1,000 OC. Straight up. With how limited they are. Me explaining my inventory? Oh. Well, my inventory is just everything. Like, I've thrown away, like, bandanas. Really, on Steam, it's permanent. Well, that's some bullshit. You guys are getting catered to, and you guys don't deserve rights. I'm just kidding. That's great. It honestly should be always available. Especially now that it's not the strongest weapon in the game. Because at a certain point in time, it was the best weapon in the game, and it was an exclusivity? Whatever. But that's great. We got it back at one point, because there was a... Gawain just gave everything back to us. Yeah, fuck Steam. You leave them alone, that's our little brother. Switch is like the little retarded brother, though, but you love him just the same. Because it just takes him longer to do things. Yes, we knew the King Arthur Supreme. That's right. Like, if the Rev 3 could go into the Leviathan weapon and take away all your SP, then maybe we can have the Supreme go into like a red Leviathan weapon, and it takes all your HP. You equip it and you die, because that's what it feels like when you have 0 SP. It's like the same thing, but like a less of a journey. That's how I feel about Leviathan weapons. I cannot stand them. As much as I always say, like, I can't farm them because it's on a Wednesday, like, I work overtime a lot, I just don't have time for that in my life. At the same time, I don't want it. I do not want that weapon. As much as it has, like, a rain multiplier on it and a holy multiplier on it, my rain skills cost too much SP. I can't be walking around with 30% of my SP total. Yeah, but you know what else looks cool? Oh, it does. It does, Cosma. Oh, as someone who's wielded 3 fusion bears, it fucking sucks. Yep, North Mags put you down. That's right. That's absolutely correct. No problem, Volter. You're welcome to come by anytime. It's good to chat. Good joking with us. I'm glad you started the whole axe versus or spear versus Chad spear versus the virgin bow. That's pretty funny. I enjoyed that. Monsters are scary. Right. I was gone for 5 months. Like I just played Genshin, just waited for PS5. It was a long time of me not being on. But I mean, I played a lot too. Like, when I didn't work, I would literally have streams like 8 hours of Dew Creek. Like, farming mags and shit. Like, oh, I'm getting like a taste of that when I'm on vacation, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get used to this. Because then it's just gonna, like, eat my life. Like, not in a bad way, it's just, I don't want to feel obligated. I feel like I have time, I'm doing stuff now while I have time. Like, it would not honestly bother me to, like, when I go back to work, just do, like, all my energy on EXP in the weekend. Like, that wouldn't bother me at all. Just ding, okay, and just build up, like, levels over time. Because I was doing that before this event came. Like, every weekend I would just, like, use my energy on that and then just go play Genshin or Pokemon or whatever I was doing. You know. But I do want to make, there's this one video I want to make, like a actual like edited video and stuff, not just a stream. But I want to make one of like, there's two I want to make. One is a retrospective video of like the top 10 optimizations that Cyberstep put into Onigiri from vanilla to now. Like I would like to make a top 10 video of that. And I'd also want a video of like 10 things that other MMOs do that would make Onigiri better. And it wouldn't just be like, oh, fix the lag, fix the DCs, because they kind of did fix the DCs. Like they happen, but it's not like whatever. Most of the time, like people aren't that upset anymore. It's never really an issue because they fixed the lag by the Ryu not becoming a particle effect, and they fixed like DCing because like most of the time you can just come back in. Like they actually hit the two biggest hammers on the head. Right, knowing what to grind for is actually very important. Trading between characters, yes and no. Yes and no. Now, so in the player perspective, trading between characters is awesome. Like, one thing, like we technically do have that, but it's in the form of having a friend. Like if you have a best friend in Oni, right, like if you have a best friend in Oni and there's an event with an exchange shop, this is the only time this is ever relevant, unless you're farming, like there's a technique people do is they'll bring an alt to a dungeon, like let's say Glacies, and you're running Glacies and you have 5 friends or 4 friends, they all have an alt. They bring their alts with them, they do 2 runs, they all get drops. You're trying to get Frozen Hellhorns, they get like a couple Frozen Hellhorns, and they just trade them to you, and then you trade the OC back, and you mitigate the price. Like that's fine, and you can just efficiently farm things by using alts and having a main carrier. Like that's a valid technique. Like we've done that when Lyra was farming Frozen Hell Mags before they were out. We did that for them. We'd go on our alts, we'd get drops, and we'd trade them all to them. The Frozen, whatever. We did have item stacking back then. It was different. But the technique still exists. Especially if you trade the OC back and forth so that it's like you get to keep like 60% of it instead of whatever you're keeping or whatever. Right? So... but trading between characters... So... On one hand, it does exist, you just have to have a best friend to do it. But on the other hand, if... Right, exactly. Like, it is a bitch in the way that, yeah, it's going to cost you, but you got to look at it in the big picture. Like, if doing that method is going to cost you more than it would to just restore, then it's not worth doing. But if it saves you OC in the long run, then it's worth doing, right? Like in the long run, that's more important. Like back in the day, like when we have an event, right? Like we had item stacking, we have an event with an exchange shop. And the exchange shop has like a whole bunch of drops that let you accelerate whatever you're doing, like horn sculptures or whatever it is. Well, you carry your friends' alts through the dungeon, you get drops, they get drops, and then they use their drops, they go through the exchange shop, they get all the cool stuff, they trade them to your friend or your character, and then you trade it back, and then you trade it back, whatever. And you rinse and repeat. You just take turns, scratch each other's back, and you get stuff. You couldn't trade like seals or what? Right. Onigiri's in the same way. Like we can't. There's a lot of weapons we're not allowed to trade. There's a lot of recipes we're not allowed to trade. And the reason for that is because Cyberstep knows they're going to make money off of things that are hard to get. Like you're not allowed to trade like warped recipes. You're not allowed to trade. Like basically any recipe above raid. Like Raid, White Brilliance, anything among that is not tradable. And the Raid farm literally just kept people going crazy for years. But the thing about the Raid and White Brilliance argument, like, it doesn't actually make Cyberstep money. Locking Raid and White Brilliance behind the rewards does not make them any money. Because Blitz, or Oni mode in general, the only way to get those recipes is time locked. It is time gated. And people only had to spend 30 energy or 90 energy a day to do it. And if that's all they were going to do until they got that recipe, they actually lost energy. They just locked someone into doing something over and over and over and over and over. Like, because there was a limited amount of times you were allowed to reload or refresh for it, or redo the dungeon, like, they just hard lock people out of those fucking weapons. Yeah, so mags are cheap because the mag price for most things, like 105s and other smaller mags, their minimum OC cost is 1, but it used to be 45. The reason for that is, like, 105s used to be 45 OC to, like, sell them. Fuse used to be 50, and Tempest are 55. The reason for that is because Magatamas, their minimum price value is based on their chakra. A lot of low level mags and stuff, they go for all 1. But when Bazaars were first coming out, like a literature mag cost 67 to trade it. Neo Tarot is like 67 because that's its chakra cost. It doesn't have an intrinsic value, it's just that's its chakra cost. And since the chakra cost of a Tempest at base is 55, that's what it is. Like, if someone were to try and sell a Redux Magatama, it would sell for 51 OC. At minimum. Well, obviously that's not what it's worth, but it allows you to do that. Right. And the weird argument about that is that Kotanoa mags were tradable. And thank God they were, because our event was glitched for a good 2 weeks. But Kotanoa recipes and weapon recipes were tradable. And thankfully for that. I remember I had an extra Kotanoa recipe, like both mags, and I gave it to someone from the stream. I don't remember who it was, but I gave it to them. Right, exactly. Like, I think Reduxes are fucking expensive. Like, I think a Redux should go for like 3,000 or something. Oh yeah, the Fuse Bear recipe is tradable. I guess we have it now. But yeah. I almost got the Fuse Bear recipe. I don't know what it takes to make it, but I kind of want it. But at the same time... Yeah, it used to be 5 runs a day. I remember that. Yeah. Blitz was so many medals. Since I don't want to make the same mistake I made last stream, I'm going to repair. For some reason, I seem to run this dungeon faster on a stream than I do by myself. Because when I run Experience Dungeon by myself, Like, I literally just, like, watch sexy MMDs and, like, slideshows of sexy pictures, and I'll get distracted. But I'm not doing that right now, so I'm not really distracted. Yeah, like, I wouldn't mind getting Fuse Bear, absolutely. The only thing is, like, I have 3 Fusion Bears, and I never use them. Like, I think that's what we need more of. That's a good point. Like, yes, I get distracted. But lately there hasn't been a lot of dual elemented skills, if you catch my drift. Usually it's Vanguards that have these skills. Like Kintoki has water and rain skills. Himiko has dark and ice skills. Shikibu has dark ice skills. They have ice fire skills, like dark ice, like all these weird combinations. But the player recently hasn't been getting a lot of dual elemental skills apart from the Dragon Arc waves that are from like Purgatories and stuff. Like we have these mags, like horse mags are wind and mountain and ice and lightning, and that's cool. They have 2 different options. But if we actually started seeing more skills that were, this is a really powerful skill, but you need ice and mountain to make it work together, or you need like wind and fire to make it work, or whatever little combinations, like that actually makes a big difference. You know what I mean? Like if they started producing these really powerful skills, but they required multiple elements to achieve them, but they were just super good, that'd be awesome. I have Fusion Bear. I do not have Fusion Bear Gold, because when I farmed Fusion Bear, even I ran that bitch so much trying to get that fused recipe from Reward that I was able to make 3 Fusion Bears from drops. Like, Fusion Bear Gold was not an option for me. Fused Bear was not an option for me. I remember it was around Easter. I haven't run the thing since, but apparently you can get the stuff now. What's someone asking me about sword? You're trying to remember what attributes to increase early game for the dual wield and sword. I really want to run one-handed. Closest I can come by is using a katana. Alright, your boy. Good night, man. Good night. Yeah, power is going to be for sword, odachi, and axe. Dex is for twin swords and bow. Pretty much. But if you're playing both those classes, you're going to want them both anyway. So you'd be better off just like, whichever one you're going to go with, make sure you max one of them out, and then you're just going to max out the other one anyway, and then put your rest of your points into mind and then vitality. Like, that's just how it's going to go. For the most part. Oh, by the way, having hit 135, I made sure to unequip all my mags and look at my raw stats, and I now have an extra point of crit from wisdom. I finally gained 24 points in wisdom. So if you notice I'm a bit smarter, there you go, boys. I put some points in wisdom. But I still have a lot of floating points because I can't do anything with them. It's also imperative. This is a pro tip. If you're going to like level up, make sure you unequip all your stuff so that extra values of dexterity or mind or wisdom do not interfere with the base calculations of your stats in min-maxing them. Because we've all said this, oh, well, I'm just going to use this gear forever. Bullshit, it's going to get power crept in 2 years. You're going to get something new. Oh, there's mag ornamentation things. Things are going to change. Like, You gotta know this stuff. You gotta make sure at base you're good. It's not like, oh, well, I have 2 decks on my fuse, and I'm gonna just put my stats in here because I know these 2 dex points will get me there. Oh, it's like, what the fuck's a Tempest? I don't know my build. Oh. Right? You don't want to be that guy. To be honest, though, we need more weapons like Satan weapons that are like, here's 24 points to a stat. Have fucking fun. Because I remember I used a Satan Star Staff forever because it gave like 20 mind. I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. I can use every skill. Oh, we need more stuff like that. It depends what you're using. So the 3 fusion berries become golds, become fused, and it takes the gold and the platinum mats. Oh, I don't have any of them platinum mats. I don't have any of that shit. I ain't farming that. Fuck. And here's the reason why. I would sooner farm a Coats and Mag. Because it would take energy and time, and I'm like halfway to a Coats and Mag. So your Twin Swords right now, put everything into Dex, and then once Dex fills up, put it into Power. If you're playing Twin Swords, mostly. Right, so then, yeah, just put everything into Dex, then put everything into Power, and then, well, then if after that, put everything into Mind, up to about 80 Mind total, then into Vitality. No problem. Right, exactly. Like Rending Moon Crimson Hanya, not the friggin' stupid 113 spear, because that thing sucks. I hate it. Baldur Brigandia. I hate Brigandias. Oh my god, I hate them so much. Oh, I hate Brigandia. Oh my sweet god. Don't get me started. I'm bleeding from my eyes. But yeah, like the next things that they have to do, like what we've seen so far is like with the advent of accessories. Accessories used to be like these basic little things, whatever. The best one was like Crit Force or whatever. And then eventually we got the like permanent Vanguard accessories that changed the game, with attack and affinity on them, a little bit of element. That was awesome. I'm about to do that this whole dungeon. No, it's the 113 weapon you crafted. A veteran weapon. You didn't really craft it, but the old man crafted it for you. I missed? Oh. Right. It was like, it had a purple aura. Those weapons being random let people experiment a lot with different weapon classes. Like, I remember people that didn't want the Galardios would end up making like a triple lunge step, double lance weapon because they could. You still have your Rising Crossbow? Wow, you never made an LSN? I like the Rising Cross. I had a pair of Rising Crossbows. I like them. I like Holy on Twin, Spirit Blast, Sunlight Strike. I like that stuff. No. So, I want to let you guys know that since I started this stream, or last stream anyway, I started my likes playlist for like music, and we've gone through 51 videos. Some of them are deleted and skipped, but the playlist is like 51 down. I remember I liked this song last Christmas. I remember I was at work, sitting down in a trailer, doing some work, and I was listening to music. Oh my god. And I found this one song. Oh. There's an epic cover of like, Cotton Eye Joe that I was listening to. I mean, so here's the thing. You could make an L-Sin, and maybe in the future another weapon's going to take an L-Sin. But realistically, if you could make a Spark, that would be... A Spark is 3,000 more attack than an L-Sin and has 2 damage multipliers. I think. It's just better. It doesn't have 2 multipliers, but it's just better. The Spark weapon, not even like the White Brilliance or the Raid, just the Spark is better than the L-Sin. Completely. 100%. That's funny. Where's that good song? That's a good song. I guess so. Thanks, Lorak. Amen. Damn. You're looking to buy a what? Do you mean like a staff soul from Eldritch? Fuck, that sounds expensive. I don't know what goes into that. What time is it? I can look at the recipe in 12 minutes. Oh, no, 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 no. Gyuki Void? Holy fuck. I'm intimidating that bitch. You know, I'm excited to fight the boss that's weak to wind. I'm excited to fight the boss that's weak to wind. I'll tell you right now, I'll do damage cap and tick to that son of a bitch. Give me some Kotanoas and a whirlwind goddamn thrust. There's an argument right there. I talk a lot of water dragon and rolling thunder, but whirlwind thrust is the best fucking move on spear. Hands down. Whirlwind Thrust 7 is the best skill we have. It is no cooldown. It can do high as fuck damage. That is the best. It has 11 ticks that can do damage cap. Like that is the best skill we have in our entire arsenal. Without a doubt. Yeah. You're fucking right, Whirlwind Thrust. So there's a difference between Whirlwind Thrust Sublime and Whirlwind Thrust Regular. And if you're doing cap, it ain't fucking much. But, Whirlwind Thrust Sublime, I believe, hits a couple times more. But Whirlwind Thrust Sublime, I noticed this fighting Abyss. The 5 burning, I have like 1,000 burning water. I'll sell you like 100 burning water. I'd rather just sell you the burning water. But Whirlwind Thrust Sublime can be interruptible. Like when I was fighting Purgatory Abyss, he would like stop time and my Whirlwind Thrust Sublime would stop. Regular Whirlwind Thrust does not stop. It will continue to pump up damage. Hey High Lord. Hey High Lord, how you been? I will probably, this week, I'll be stopping at 136. In terms of the staff, I have to look at the recipe. I have to know how much of that stuff I have right now. I have to know what it takes. I don't know what I have for drops for it. You know what I mean? Like, if I have 0 drops for it, then probably no. Like, if I have nothing to make a soul already, then it's a hard no. But if I could pump it out right now, like, if it was just like, okay, here you go, like, then, okay, here you go. Right, well, but like, it's still good. I'm not going to talk shit about Whirlwind Thrust Sublime. It's awesome. Like, it's just, like, they both still have their uses. It's just like Rolling Thunder Sublime for Spear. Like, it's good, but Rolling Thunder is still stronger. But it's just you get the burst without the waiting. So it's like Rolling Thunder Sublime is essentially like Rolling Thunder DX or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's like a min-max kind of thing. Rolling Thunder, if left unchecked to just sit there and hold L1, you can pump out 70 million damage. What I like to do is you go Rolling Thunder Sublime and then you cancel it with Rolling Thunder 7 and you get it out with like super quick animations and it's like half the fucking time. It's like and it just bounces back and forth like 1 second delay. Oh, that's the good shit right there. Oh my sweet god. But basically, because of Whirlwind Thrust Sublime's cooldown, it literally sets you up in a position to go, like, I remember when I made my Grace, I made this a priority. Like, I remember I had a certain specification to where I wanted these skills. I wanted Whirlwind Thrust 7 in the 3rd slot, and that's all I needed was Whirlwind Thrust 7 in the 3rd slot. That's all I wanted. Just because then I could go from 3 to 4 incredibly quick, and I made sure my 4 was Whirlwind Thrust Sublime. So on my Grace, I can go Whirlwind Thrust Sublime, Whirlwind Thrust 7, Whirlwind Thrust Sublime, Whirlwind Thrust 7, and like ad infinitum, like just forever. That was like so important to me. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Like, well, as much as I hate damage cap, I don't think damage cap should exist. I don't, like, as much as I want to argue and say, well, damage cap shouldn't exist for single target skills or single hit skills, it absolutely fucking shouldn't. Damage cap shouldn't exist, period. Like, the fact that there's a damage cap means that it's whatever. It's just 1 damage. I'm dealing 1 damage every time I do damage cap. Like, because there is a damage cap, all damage is valued on how many caps can it do. You know, like, or is it like safe like Cursed Arrow and it's just cap, 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 I'm safe, cap, 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 I'm safe, cap, 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 I'm safe. Double-edged cut could do damage cap. Before damage cap was a regular thing. Like, with 105 mags, damage cap wasn't really seen on things other than, like, Lance. And this was before Lance, I want to say. And double-edged cut was able to do I saw 1 million damage in Sekigahara on a field boss. Like, I saw a field boss die in 3 hits back when that used to take us, like, half an hour or whatever, like 10 minutes to kill a death scythe. Like, I saw it take 1 million damage and die in 3 hits. Double-edged cut was ridiculous for what it was. Like, if a player had a good enough connection and they could just, like... And not to mention, double-edged cut would thrive on 2 metas. Double-edged cut would rely on using sacrifice on the same weapon or whatever. Sacrifice on a different weapon. To, also you running the alcohol Moth Orchid. There's Benton's Blessing and Moth Orchid. And Moth Orchid is basically a really good alcohol. It's if you're about to take a fatal blow, you live on 500 HP. And Benton's Blessing was the same thing for like 300. Yeah, death sights aren't shit anymore. The first thing I tested Ice Dragon Spiral on was a Death Scythe, and it died. I was like, holy fuck. And basically, with the double edge cut meta, a person would run Feast, like with the 3 alcohol cups, you'd have Feast of the Damned, Benten's Blessing, and Moth Orchid. You'd pop your Moth Orchid, you pop Benten's Blessing, they're active for so much time. You take 1 fatal blow, you live, you're still pumping out damage. You take another fatal blow, you're living, you pump out more damage. At that point, if the enemy's not close to be dead, you pop Feast of the Damned and you just give it your fucking all until it dies and you die. And you just hopefully kill it before you die, and then you still get your double SS because you killed it before it was done. Like on something like Gargoyle or whatever. Like, it was wild. Not to mention, there was a point in time where you could Feast of the Damned, and then go on a mount or a Vanguard. Well, not really mounts. It was fixed by then, but guard and get out of Feast. It wouldn't kill you. It was only later that they made it a different... Yeah, I know. Like, field bosses would have been awesome. Like, imagine just a giant gray on the moon, and he's got a big club, and he's gonna beat your ass. We'll call him Jiren. Like, it'd be so fun. Like, on the islands, like, imagine just a fucking Leviathan, like, coming on the beach to come beat your ass. Like, oh, fuck, terrified. I hate big fucking sea thingies. Like, that scares the shit out of me. Like, I once had a dream, it was this weird dream. I was, like, in, like, one of the levels in, like, Mario Sunshine, where you're in this, like, you go inside a jar, and you have to collect all these red coins, but there's, like, this big fucking whale in it, and I hate that shit. And God, gee, for fuck's sake, yeah, exactly. And I just hate the idea of being in, like, a big open thing of water or whatever, like, underwater, and there's a big fucking whale coming to get you. Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate that. I hate that a lot. Like, it's a complete hypothetical because it would never happen, but just imagine, I don't like that stuff. And I feel like that's an instinct that I have in my body, is like, I feel like it's inherited from, like, my ancestors, my mother's side, were a lot of fishermen and stuff. So they probably had a fear of, like, ocean depths and shit. It's, like, just an instinct that I have. You have a compulsion to farm Lacus Mortis? I mean, if you get any Lacus mags, that's good. I don't know. Do they still sell? Do people still buy Hisokatas? And I mean, Hisokata probably still sells. Divindi, what is your picture? I don't know what it is. Like, it's some kind of manga thing. Like, to me, it feels like you're a Mamoto from Zatch Bell, but you're drawn by, like, Berserk. Like, I don't know what you are, but that's what I think you are. Holy fuck, just throwing fucking coconuts? Could you... I would pay Cyberstep $5. I would pay Cyberstep $5 if they could just make a big fucking toucan bird, just go into Onigashima and start throwing coconuts at people. Holy fuck. Oh my god. I would love it. Just fucking, oh, you're fucking, that's 2 for idling. Boom. Coconut. Dead. Oh my god. That'd be the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Just fucking put it right in Onigashima, start coconutting some fucking people. Holy shit. Put it in the rift. Just fucking coconut all the rifters. My god. You know how fucking fun that would be. That might be the greatest thing. Fucking, what the fuck was that? Fuck coconut. Oh, mob's like, okay, cool. Why for min people does Hisokata and that? Like, they sell them for min because you can't sell them for more. Like, there was a certain point in time where everyone ran Dew Creek for experience, like to get to like 128, 129, 130. And people just were swimming in those mags because they just got them. And they were so abundant that no one was able to sell them for higher than what they were worth because, like, everyone had them. Right. Like, if you notice a decrease in the amount of Hisakatas or Akatsuki Yamis or Neoterrors or whatever, then go farm them. You can sell them, but you just gotta hope there's a seller. I sold a couple last week. Right, true. The perfect theme song for that? What's that? Oh, the coconuts? Is it Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? Is it Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? Is it the Donkey Kong DK rap? Is it DK rap? It has to be DK rap. Coconut gun, fires and spirits. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. Okay, I don't know that song, but alright, cool. Right. Like, I've actually had people like ask me about mags and stuff, like, do you have any of these? And people are always after Dancing Water, and they're after Skyrending. Like, I was selling a guy a Dancing Water yesterday, or the other day, and he's like, do you have any Skyrendings? I'm like, I don't. Like, I told him I do, but that's for my second Kotanoa mag. How difficult was it to craft a Kotanoa mag? Well, holy fuck. That's a good question. Fuck, let's go ask Kaguya-sama. I made one, and then someone sold me the first half of it as a gift. But the second half of the Kotanoa mag, I don't know how to get this thing. There it is. Kotanoa. No, search it. There we go. Kotanoa. So the first part of the Kotanoa mag, you need a Celestite and you need an Ice Celestite, which can be obtained from the Purgatorium guy, and then you need a Ruby Chalcedony. Then you need a Skyrending Magatama. Then you need a Dancing Water Magatama. You need 50 Infernal Wings. You need 40 Infernal Hearts. You need 50 Sleet Sword Wings. And you need 40 Sleet Hearts. And that's it. 2 weeks to build 2 Kotos. Well, exactly. It's a shit ton of restores. Oh yeah, I know that song. I know it. I don't know artists, but yeah, I know that song. As for the second half, you need that, plus you need a Sky Fused, a Dancing Water Fuse. You need 100 Infernal Marrows, and you need 100 Sleet Marrows. And let me tell you something: Sleet Marrows do not drop. I ran a straight hour of Sleet one day, and I was getting fucking mad. Like I couldn't get them. Like, I was on reward up, and it was just, they wouldn't drop, they wouldn't come in reward. It was fucking horrible. Like, to ratio this, I have 51 Sleet Marrows, and I have 177 Sleet Hearts. I have 100 Infernal Marrows and 78 Hearts. Like, it's all RNG for these goddamn Marrows. Like, it sucks. It sucks to get Marrows. Oh my god, I hate it. Oh shit, I need a Hellhorn. What happened? I used 3. I used them to make the Hakane weapon. Oh no. I'm gonna have to play a game on Thursday or something. Holy shit. Whatever. But it kinda sucks. Like, it's just getting the Marrows. It's just Marrows that suck. It's really just Marrows. You're 133 Laz? That's really good. Or that's how you Laz. Or Loraz. You sold 3? Jesus. Fuck. I agree with your regret. 2,300, that's really fucking good. That's a personal best for me. That's really fucking good. Yeah, but I gotta wait for reward up. No, exactly. Like, it's hard. It's just, ugh. Like, if you just did it every day in your natural energy and you walk away with like 1 marrow a day, you'll be done in 100 days. but at the same time, it's like, do you want to do anything else with your energy? Like, no? Okay, good. Like, a half of mine was funded by, like, Gala back in the day. 737. We're about to hit 800 billion. Jeez. Oh, we're at the E in energy. We're at the R in energy. We're at the G in energy. Yeah, I will. Just, my priorities are what I just spent like 1,000 OC on. Am I gonna touch the 19 in energy? Oh my god, let's go. Yay. And we'll add another 3 billion to that pot. Is it still restocking? Oh, okay, good. Oh, I already got them. Wow, I didn't even move from billion. Fuck. What? I mean, there's a difference between wasting. Experience ticket 4 is the exact same thing as experience ticket 3. There's no difference. It's just, here's why they exist. Instead of changing it to where you could just use experience ticket 3s, like, instead, like, I don't know why they didn't just make it so that experience ticket 3s could be used beyond 130. They invented experience ticket 4 to differentiate them from the tickets you give to your partners, because I don't think you can give experience ticket 4s to your partners, just 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why, but they did it, and we're allowed to use them. It's just, you just get them and you give them to the cat. It's just like a redundancy. It's just bureaucracy. So what does that put us at? We are now at 8:20. Oh shit. We're like an hour and a half away. Okay. You wanted me to look at the Staffordaboo recipe. It told me... Is it lit up? I don't see it. Well, I used to have 14,000 OC. That was all in bazaars. 30k? That's a lot. Holy fuck. Well, 30B. 30B radical. What am I looking for? What's this thing called? A soul. Soul. It's not lit. What the fuck is this? Has this thing been reduxed? Burning water, compass, fairness, chaos, rebellion. Skull 30 sculptures, Jesus Christ. Sigil of folding bullshit. Crimson, whatever. What's this grateful staff? How do I get that? The answer is no, I do not have the recipe for Grateful Staff of Flame. How do you get that? What do I need for the soul? Where do I get the Faithful Lance of Flame? Faithful lance of flame. Faith. Faithful lance of flame. Do I even have that recipe? Is that a recipe? Now hold the fucking phone. Faithful. Yeah, but how did I make my spear? There it is. Oni no Dachi sigil bullshit, okay. Maybe I have it and I wasn't looking for it. Grateful? Is it a great? Oh, it's a grateful. I'm looking for grateful. G. No, I don't have it. I would have just ran Eldritch normal until I got my recipe and then fucked off and did Highland. Funny as that is, I can't make it. Pretty much. How long is the run? They're going an hour and 10 minutes. There we go. That's a good fucking song. Did I really use? I just bought that. But like, if you wanted burning water or something, I could give you burning water. What would I say if I got to 140 and they released 145? I'd say release me another way to do this. Like, we're beyond the point that we don't have experience ticket Oni mode. Like, the fact that people are willing to glitch to get more tickets shows that it's not enough. Like, if people, like, you know what I mean? Like, people wouldn't steal if they had all their needs met. You know what I mean? Like, people wouldn't resort to underhanded like, if, like, perfect example, if marijuana is completely legal, then there's no reason for there to be back markets, unless the price is too outlandish. But if they made, like, we have legalized weed here anyway, if they made it to a point where they have legalized weed and they have dispensaries, and they make it so that a gram is, I think a gram was like $8 or something, that's what it was at the time. And then on the black market, maybe you'd pay $5. Well, then maybe, like, it's not worth it, right? Like, there's a certain price you have to meet of, like, how much production goes into something versus how much you sell it for. So, like, if the government was charging like $20 a gram for marijuana, but people would go, like, back alley and pay like 10 or 15, then that'd be worth it to them. But if it was dirt cheap as fuck and they were just selling it and they said, well, you got to buy it from us, well, then the back markets fail. The black market fails, right? So if there's a black market, like let's say there's somebody out there selling Tempest mags for 3,000 OC, and nobody else can make Tempest mags, and it's like a really big deal, and someone's like, well, fuck, I'm not going to do that. I'll buy them for 3,000 OC, right? And like eventually everybody gets to the point where they can manufacture Tempest really easily, then you can't ask 3,000 for it anymore. You have to go to the market value. You have to see, well, oh, okay, well, they're selling it for 2,000. I can do that. But then eventually so many people selling Tempest, like we have it on PC, and Tempest sell for like 700, 900, 1,000. And then the person making them says, well, fuck that. Unless I get an event, it's not worth the energy and it's not worth the time. Because like the sum of all of Tempest pieces were like 3,000 OC worth of energy. Like, but eventually if the community can produce it at a lesser cost, then inflation goes down and things become more commonplace. It's just the same reason why the TVs we play this game on right now, when they first came out, the HDMI TV that's like HD and all that was like $5,000 if not more, and the TV I've had for 5 years, we got it for like 1,000, 1,400, something like that, right? It's the same philosophy for like experience. Like right now, there's only 2 alternatives for experience. 1 is Experience Dungeon. 2 is Dew Creek. Like that's it. Like that's it. Or you can go to Arcanes, but it's less so, and it's more fun to kill Darumas, whatever. There's less DCing there. So you have the choice of Consistency Dungeon, you have the DC Dew Creek Dungeon, or you have the Experience Dungeon. And it's like fast track, 200 hours of bullshit, or like 300 hours of consistent runs. Right? So in the end, they're all going to run you the cost of boosts or whatever at some point. But yeah, like if 140 came out, they need a new method. They need like Oni experience mode. They need something. They would need something else, because if they come out with a level that says like and up to 140, it could be like that. I don't know. Like if at 139 to 140 is 100 million, or not even 100 million. If it was like 1,000 million, 1,000 million, what the fuck's that number? Anyway, a trillion? If it was like a trillion, well, it wouldn't be that bad. You just do 100 million like 10 times. But like, if it ends up being like 10 trillion or something, you can go fuck. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you want me to pay vanilla prices to get through whatever I'm doing, right? Like, oh my god, I'm gonna crash. Really quick though, why do I get 1,000 OC instead of 500 OC and then 500 OC later? Anybody know why? Because I used to be all about 500 OC, 500 OC, 500 OC, 500 OC. I never really did the big one. The answer is you get 50 OC at the end, and that's an extra run. That's literally it. That covers the 1 DC I usually get. Ooh. And to be honest, like, leveling up is a lot cheaper than rolling the Nyan Koropan. Like, I say this about Sublimes and a bunch of things. Skill card weekends don't drop special cards? I don't know. Like in the long run, like I've watched people play gacha games. Like I've watched people like Tectone and people roll Genshin, and they spend so much on anything. Like the cheapest I've ever gotten an R5 weapon in Genshin is like $450. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And Genshin has people doing that all the time. Like, as bad as, like, things are in Oni without guaranteed, like, pity and all that stuff, like, the amount it takes to roll in Genshin is, like, twice the price of Onigiri. Like, in Onigiri, it's, like, 1,600 for a 5 roll, and then in Genshin, it's, like, a lot more. For, like, a 10 roll, it's, like, $30 or something. I don't know what the heck it is. Hey, Penna, how you doing? Like, I've seen people play the Fire Emblem Heroes game that I play, and there's a guy, he would drop like 1,000, if not 2,000 on like one character to max them out. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I've done that stuff, but I'm lucky enough that it doesn't take me more than like 300. But comparatively speaking, like, Onigiri, like, experience leveling is like, if you look at it from the basis of I want this one level, like 132 to 133 was like 2,000 OC, maybe. 134 was like a couple different hours. Right. Like, it all depends what you want to get out of it. Right, everything's free to play, pay to win, right? Like, or unless it's a completely cosmetic game, but the only time you'll see it not like that is if they have a huge friggin' parent company backing them. Like, you'll see that on Phantasy Star Online, you'll see that on Pokemon Go. You'll see when the company has like a huge backing, like it's a Nintendo game, it's a Sega game, it's like a big AAA bitch. Like, you'll see free to play be possible. It's absolutely possible. Especially if it's like a celebration game of a franchise they already own. But in games that are independently, like it's the game itself, like you won't see it. Like, it comes down to an argument of how much time are you willing to put into something versus how much is it worth to you. And I've said it a lot of times, but like, usually it'll go, well, if you don't work, then you have a lot of time. But if you do work, you have a lot of money and no time. If you don't work, you have no money and you do have time. So to someone who doesn't work, well then, if they want to sit there and do 10 hours of Dew Creek every day, congratulations, do it, you know? But then you have someone comes home from work and it's just like, they don't really want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to just enjoy myself for 2 hours. I don't want to fucking kill myself. You said something about Phantasy Star. I haven't played New Genesis, but free-to-play players have less means of earning Meseta now that the player shop is locked behind premium. Really? So they took a page out of Onigiri's book? You can't use the player shop anymore? Really? I never really sold much stuff in that game, but I didn't find Meseta that hard to get. Oof. You should just use it everywhere then. Basically, yeah. Like, my time in, what's it called? Phantasy Star is not the most extensive, but I leveled a character to maximum. But I didn't find it that difficult. I wasn't optimum in any way, shape, or form, but I got through things. Like, you join parties, you do stuff, whatever. You get about 500k Meseta a week, and most items have a baseline of 500. Really? Now, is that Senki, is that value determined by Sega or is it determined by the players? Really? That's some bullshit. Huh? Yeah, I remember that. Like, I remember seeing stuff like 11 million, whatever. The hairs, yeah. I liked the concerts. They were kind of fun. I'd go to the concerts and everyone would just put all these pictures in the chat. Jeez, that's a big upgrade. And yeah, that's how it is. Like, and that's the argument for everything. Like, it all comes down to what something means to someone else. Like, yeah, if you get your hair done, your nails done, like, that's mostly a feminine thing or whatever. You know, it's all about the vanity of a person. But, like, yeah, if you're gonna go spend like $100 on nails, well, that's probably a big fucking waste. No one else is gonna tell you it's not a big fucking waste. Like, unless you're like a Hollywood actress or like some OnlyFans and you're gonna get it all back or whatever, like, it's not a good investment. Like, sure, it makes me feel good. It's like, you know what else can make you feel good? Going for a fucking walk. But, like, I don't know. Like, realistically, yeah, the fun scratches, yeah. They removed that. Wow. Microsoft kicking in. Somebody's got to pay for that overhaul. You can't remember how to send messages or recruit groups of people? You gotta make a party box and hope people know how to join it. You probably won't find many teammates early game because people don't know what they're doing. It's like a bunch of babies. Like, they can barely walk. I remember it took me like 20 minutes. Is this the right dungeon? Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, me and my buddies went out for a drive today to go catch like Dialga in Pokemon Go. And then we got him. Then I said I had some coupons for Baconators for Wendy's. I said, you guys want to get some Baconators? And we each got a Baconator. We had a Baconator and a 99-cent Frosty. And we spent $6. We all just had a good time. And then it was $6 a person. That was it. We had a Baconator. We went, like, we did what we had to do. And then when I got back, I was like, oh, it's such a nice day out. And I'm like, there's so many cool Pokemon out. I went for a walk. I went to a park. I walked home. I felt good. It was like 20 minutes. Like, it was a great day. I didn't do anything. It didn't cost me $1 billion worth of nails. Like, you know. Really? Not being able to color change. That's so weird. That's, they're trying to squeeze the player base tight. And you know why they're doing that? It's the same reason they do that right now in Onigiri. Is because they have long-standing players. Like, these games are built off of long-time fans right now. Like, Onigiri doesn't get, you know, thank you for everyone who does, but Onigiri doesn't get a lot of new players that just come out of nowhere and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ham. Like, it's usually people that play and then people who quit, people who come back, whatever. Their servers were closed. It's not their fault. It's going pretty good. But Onigiri's players and Phantasy Star are built on people that have been playing for years. And then they takes everything that they used to do for granted and they're invested in the characters. People aren't just going to walk away. So then they start squeezing on the things they once took for granted. See how much they can get. It's the same thing with us. We used to take experience for granted. It was like the funnest part of the game, farming experience boosts, all that stuff. And now it's a completely pay-to-win thing. Leveling is cool. Having a big number on your head means something to you. It's cool. Like, honestly, like, having been 132 for like 2 years, it's like nothing really changed for me, but I felt like everyone was getting ahead of me being 133, 134, 135. Like, I personally felt like I'm behind. I'm like, oh my god, like, yeah, damage cap is damage cap, like, it is what it is, but at the same time, it's like, oh my god, it feels so weird. So I'm like, you know what, it's on a discount, there's no better time than now, I'm gonna level up. And I hit 133 incredibly quickly, because it was just half a bar. and then 134 was really easy, and then 135 was like the first time I was like, oh, okay, this kind of takes a bit, and 136 to me was just, okay, just get 50 million, then do 135 again. That's all it was. Like, if 137 is 250 million, it's completely doable. It's absolutely doable. Like, if they just keep adding 50 billion to the total, it's fine. It's when you look at things as a whole is when you're gonna get, like, if I tell someone right now, like, go get a trillion experience to hit 140, they're like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna go do everything else in my possible body that I can do before I fucking do that. Like, you know what I mean? But when you break things down, like, oh, get, like, right now, like, if we had half an hour boosts, or we could turn off boosts, or whatever, and someone said, I'm just going to do, like, half an hour of experience dungeon every day for 7 days during this event, well, you're going to get, like, 35 million. Right, absolutely, man. Like, in terms of does the game actually work, I think, and a lot of people agree on this, Onigiri is, like, at its core, it's a good game. Like, its mechanics are good. How it plays is good. Everything is good. Like, we wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't fun. Like, you know what I mean? That's for games that are built on a third party. Like, people will play, like, Fate Go whether they like it or not. They just like Fate. They just like getting the characters. Same thing with Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, but when you get, like, an MMO that's good, and the game mechanically is good, it makes sense, you can work with it, you can play with it. Like, to me, this is the Infinite Dynasty Warriors game for me. Like, it's a mixture between, like, Monster Hunter and, like, Dynasty Warriors and things like that. Right, and they can always go better. That's a valid point. Like, every game can be better. Case in point, there's always sequels to games. Like, Smash Brothers Melee is considered, like, one of the greatest games of all time, and yet we still have Brawl, Smash 4 Ultimate, and so on and so forth. Like, we tried to play Melee last weekend, I couldn't fucking do it. Holy Jesus Christ. I could not touch that. I could not touch that with a fucking stick. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Like, there's always room for content. Like, one thing I've wanted for Onigiri in a long time, well, the people that say Brawl, it's a different, like, era. Like, Bushi, you're, like, a generation behind me in age. Like, I'm 28, going on 29, and I believe you said you're, like, 18, 20, something like that. So for you, yeah, you'd say Brawl, because that was your middle time. Like, that was your adolescence, I don't know, a certain point in your life, right? And then for the longest time, it's like for us, it was like, oh man, we played Melee when we were kids. Like, it's what you played when you were kids. It was the good shit. Like, some people will say, oh, Mario on the or Mario Kart and Super Nintendo was the best, and I'll say, oh, well, Double Dash was the best in the GameCube. They'd be like, no, Mario Kart 64 was the best, and it's just like, it's just this. That's the part of your life you needed it most, and that's when you played it. Now, you can go objectively and say, well, this one's better because of this X, Y, Z, whatever. But, like, to each person, it's all about what's up. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't mean to age gate or anything like that. It's just like, we each have our different points of, like, when things were truly like, holy shit, this is what we're doing this Friday night, boys. Like, Brawl was good, but the minute Smash 4 came out to me, Brawl was like, oh, I couldn't touch it. And the same thing with Ultimate. Like, I can't go back. I love Ultimate so much. Me and my buddy played last night. He was over till about 5 in the morning. We were playing Smash Ultimate Doubles online. I love that. I absolutely love that mode. I think it's the greatest thing ever. And, oof, I love Majora's Mask. Holy fuck, I love Majora's Mask. Don't get me started on Majora's Mask. I love it. Oh my god. I remember there was a summer I had my N64 on top of my Xbox 360 and I was playing Majora's Mask. Because like, there's something with me, like every summer I just want to play Zelda 64, like one of the two of them. I want to. Oh my god. Oh, if it wasn't for the responsibilities of a YouTuber and stuff. MMOs. But I do miss this. I do miss running experience with the chat. Like, I love this. Like, this is just... I don't even know what I'm doing on screen. I'm just hitting circle and picking things up. But, like, I'm mostly just focused on the chat. Like, my eyes are looking at my OC number, because that's where the chat is. Oh, 5th birthday! Oh my god. I got my N64 when I was 7. Oh my god. I think. 7 or 9, one of the two. Oh yeah. Like, that was one of the big setbacks to experience as well. Mirror B. Me and my buddies were playing the Mirror B song a while ago. But one thing me and my friends always talked about in terms of like farming dungeons, like right now, when you go into a dungeon, now Onigiri would have to start doing some preset settings because this would be asininely horrible if they don't implement this correctly. Now there's a really easy way to do it. Like, they don't have to do anything else. Literally, all you have to do is, like, if I wanted to make a party, I don't think I can create a party. Okay, right? So, if I wanted to make my party right now, whatever I set the members to should be the difficulty of the party. If I set the members to 4, this should mean I'm doing War Bazooka on 4-man. Like, if I set it to 5, I should be doing the dungeon on 5-man. If I set it to 1, I'm on 1-man, 2, I'm on 2-man, 3, I'm on 1-man. That's all they have to do, and make the dungeon reflect that. That's all they have to do, and it makes farming infinitely better. Like, you could just farm Dew Creek by yourself in a 5-man body party, because it wouldn't need to fucking exist. And as long as your party's set to 5, the dungeon is set to 5. If you set it to 1, it's set to 1. All the parties are set to 5 by default. It would solve everything. Everything. Just by implementing that as the party size. If you set it to 3, the dungeon you go into is hard set to 3. And you can't have more than 3 people. Like, it's fine. Like, that's all they'd have to do. You wouldn't have to worry about someone DCing. You'd be by yourself, farming, whatever. Someone wants to come with you, they join you. Like, that alone would be such a fundamental change for how Onigiri works from a multiplayer perspective. Like, not even multiplayer, but just how dungeons are, their difficulty is determined. Like, if I could just set myself to 4-man and just run War Bazooka for like 2 hours a day, I would do that. Like, not really all the time, but like if I wanted mags, I would do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they have to do. Or you want a farm experience? Well, you're 5-man all the time. You DC'd, oh well. At least I don't have to worry about anything. Set it to 9-man, I don't care. Like, oh. Like, that right there would just fix a lot of problems. A lot of inconvenience. Ugh. Well, no, it wouldn't kill multiplayer at all. Because, and I understand why you're saying that, but we can do that now, right? Like, by somebody getting a body party, or someone jumping into a body party and doing Dew Creek by themselves, and they're in a 5-man body party, it's the exact same thing. It does not kill multiplayer at all. If anything, it's like, well, it's going to be 5-man either way. What kills multiplayer is the fact that if I kill something, I get 80% of the experience in the dungeon, and if you get 20% of the experience. Like, I get 100% and you only get 20% of it. Like, if we're in a 5-man party, we're running new, every time I kill something, I get 100% of the experience, and you only get 20% of that experience. That kills the multiplayer. If they made it right now that every single person in the party gained 100% of experience regardless of what they did, we'd have multiplayer going constantly. Do creep, do creep, do creep, do creep. People would take turns fucking farming it. Like, people would just take turns carrying. Like, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, Bushi. Like, that's the flaw. The flaw is why we do body parties. Like, you do need body cooperation in a body party. Yes, you need to, like, okay, you're going to be up for this amount of time. Sure, 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 sure. But, like, if they changed how experience values work, like, just because you can do Warabizuka 4-man by yourself, just because you can do that, it doesn't mean not having 4 people to run it with will not go infinitely faster because there's 4 of you in the dungeon. Like, in terms of speed, people give you speed. It's not about we need people together to kill the bosses. That's not what it's about. Like, people wouldn't carry dungeons if we all got the same experience value just for existing in the party. The fact that we only receive 80% of or 20% of the experience that the carrier gains is what kills it. And if it was in a way where it's like, yeah, I can run this dungeon by myself and get all the experience I want, great. But if there's, let's say, me and you right now, we want to go do Dew Creek. We're dueling Dew Creek. We don't care about the drops. We're just going for time. We're just going fast as fuck. And we're taking care of different sections of mobs. We're clearing Dew Creek in 3 minutes. We're getting 90 million experience in 3 minutes. Who gives a shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we can get people, like, waiting by the portal, like, waiting for the doors to open in the dungeon, like, you set that shit up optimized, you have so much cooperation. It's just there's no reward to doing it. There's no point unless you're farming mags. Like, in terms of experience, if they changed it to where every single person received the same experience whenever something's killed, it's a static value. You go in, you go out. It's 5-man no matter what. You'd be going fast as fuck. Holy shit, you got like 5 Raijas in that bitch. I don't even know what you'd be doing. You just be going. It'd be amazing. You'd have your friends getting together. Just let's run this as fast as possible. Just go, 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 go. Like, nothing could be more fun. Like, that to me is where Onigiri loses out. Like, because it encourages the solo runs. If they made a separate version for, like, experience but still needed the body parties. So the reason why body parties are important is because they buff the level of the dungeon. I don't see the need for them to not do that. Like, the reason why you get more experience is, yes, the mobs level up, but it also increases them in number, which means there's more experience for one person to get. That's why the bodies are important. So, if you wanted the best of both worlds, you just make it so the dungeon's always 5-man. At one point in time, Onigiri said we're going to make all wardings 3-man no matter what, because at a certain point, people were not joining. People were only running gargoyles up to 3-man because they didn't want the 4th and 5th man to show up and raise the health of the fucker inside. And Cyberstep noticed and said, oh, well, that's not good. They said, why is everyone running this in 3-man parties? Like, there are multiple people running this in 3-man. Why are they doing that? And the reason for that was the jump in health that the boss got at a 5-man value and a 4-man value was too high. So they made them 3-man for everyone. Now, yes, if you had experience, like, if you had an experienced version of every dungeon, like if every dungeon had a page 2, like I just picked up the phone, I can only see half the comments when they're really long, but if there was like a page 2 to every dungeon, and it was an experienced version, so no drops, only mobs, Yeah, that'd be good for like the frame rate, it'd be good for some stuff. But I still wouldn't do it. Not when Dew Creek can give you Neoteros and Nubatamas. Like, as much as we don't like the drops, like, a lot of players plug in a keyboard and just slap down the E button and pick up as many drops as they possibly can while they're running it. Like, you're not going to let a Neotero fall through your grasp. Like, whether you don't want it to appear or not, a couple seconds on boost is, like, worth a Neoteru, especially if you can sell it. You know what I mean? Like, or a Nubatama or whatever's in that dungeon. So, yeah, like, it'd be cool to turn every dungeon into an experience dungeon, but at the same time, they should just make a new dungeon. It shouldn't still be Dew Creek after 8 years, or 3 years. You know, like, as much as we want to, like, this is talking as if they'll never make another dungeon. Like, it's not like we're trying to mod a finished game to make it better. Like, they have the capacity to make new dungeons. Like, there's no reason that, like, I don't know, the Android dungeons didn't give more experience, or this dungeon or that dungeon or whatever. Like, there's no reason that we can't have an event that takes us back to a certain dungeon. And, oh, you do page 2 of it, and all the enemies are 150, and it's like, holy shit, I just got 1 billion experience in a run. There's no reason a dungeon like that can't exist. Now, the only reason it can't exist is because then it invalidates this. They will never buff experience or how to get it until they release an Energy 2. Like, until they release Oni mode for Experience Dungeon. Because, like, this is one of their biggest cash cows. Absolutely. And that's really like the circular logic as to why they won't buff experience. Like, if Dew Creek 2 comes out, and let's say we get experience mode of it, and people are, because there's no drops, people are doing it in like 4 minutes a run, or 3 minutes, or whatever they can do. And people are now getting 90, they're 90 million on 400, and they're getting that in 3 minutes. Then you have now surpassed the experience dungeon. Sorta. Every run of this is about... No, you don't. No, you don't surpass that at all. Every run of this is 400 million. Right. You would have zero need to play with others. Right, well, and now I understand that, like, on one hand, we want to make it so that there's more reason to play with other people in dungeons. Now, I understand that. However, like, how many times have people just, like, gotten a phantom body party, and that's what they use to level up, because they don't have to worry about DCing, they don't have to worry about people leaving. Like, because of the meta of only the carrier gets full experience, no one runs experience with other people. Like, because of how things were, that's what people want. Anyone farming experience wants a body party that never goes away, is unwavering, is consistent. Like, if you consider how the rules are now, what I want is, let us all get the same experience value, let's all go into the dungeon together and curve stomp this bitch. That'd be fun to me. We get into a party chat, we just kill shit and just go. So the question is, what's going on with the update? They were supposed to update it last week. There's a good chance they'll update it this Tuesday/Wednesday. But if they don't, they don't, and we'll see something in August. If we don't get an update this Tuesday, then Torita theory is true. Torita theory was my theory that The update ended because they wanted to do a 2-week anniversary of that Toretta cat or whatever it was. They didn't want it to go beyond that. But it could either be this Wednesday or it could be next week. Like not next week, but the week after, because we're still Sunday, right? So it's this week, whatever you want to call it. I still find it hilarious funny that I don't have the recipe for that staff. How much time's on this? Oh, this is a new boost, isn't it? Oh. But like, in all seriousness, we have to consider what it is players glitch to do that is advantageous to them that Cyberstep should put in a natural alternative for. Like, historically, if we look at the history of glitches, like, yeah, it was supposed to be Tuesday, but it's usually like Tuesday going into Wednesday. But if we look at the first glitches, in the history of glitches, like, it started with the Gods glitch. People on Xbox re-rolling their mags, re-rolling weapons and all that stuff. And it took Cyberstep a long time, and I always advocated for, I will pay $5 to re-roll a mag. Little did I know, it's like 60 OC to re-roll 3 mags, and I'm like, holy shit, that's great. I actually bought 3 of the re-roll thingies the other day and fixed up a Katerion I had. Anyway, so basically what people were doing was they would re-roll their weapons until they got perfect smelts, perfect skill changes, etc., etc. Because that was something that they wanted to do. They thought it was a good idea to re-roll something instead of making a whole new fucking one because yours was shit. Because at one point, if you were making a Night Sky and you didn't get Collapsing Blade, and like if you were making a Night Sky and you didn't get Collapsing Blade, and you did all your skill changes, and like this was before Yogg, before the skill cards came for collapsing, you were shit out of luck. You had to do Point Daruma. And some people were like, well, the money it would take me to get a skill card from Point Daruma, I might as well farm the fucking thing again. So it created a situation where if I didn't get this one skill, this weapon was garbage. And the different, like, you couldn't get 7, so it's like, well, I might, instead of spending all this money on skill cards that I might not get, I might as well follow the guaranteed route. I have all my recipes, just farm all the stuff again. And some people would do that, and other people would be like, fuck that, and stop playing altogether. So then, now in current year, we have the hammers to completely restart the smelting process and have another shot at getting Ice Dragon Spiral, or Collapsing Blade, or whatever else your heart desired. You can just do it ad infinitum, just $5 to retry. Sure, 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 sure. And then we have mags. Now, like, mag reornamentation stuff was event only. And now, you can go in the shopping plaza and buy mag reroll items. You get 3 of them for like $6. It's pretty decent. It's a lot better than farming another Tempest. I mean, you shouldn't ornament that, but farming another Kotanoa mag. Fuck. Could you imagine? Like, farming another Cielo? Farming it like, oh, complete lunacy. So, like, even though it took them a long-ass time, those were 2 problems that were in the game, was that smelting and ornamentating were so permanent. Like, I made 6 Thunderquakes because I had shit ornaments. Like, I had to. My ornaments were so bad. I had decks and shit. I was depressed. Right. And, like, the only thing, like, they really need to do is let us break down Vanguard scrolls into scraps. I've been advocating for this for a long time, but if I could turn Vanguard scrolls that I don't care, that I'm not going to build, that I don't want, or that I have an excess of, into scraps, do that. Please, I will love rolling. Like, it will not bother me to get scraps for something that I care about. Like, if I could, when I was rolling for Shikaboo, and I kept getting all these, I didn't get any duplicates, but I could have just said, well, fuck all these Kenshins, I'm getting a Shikaboo. Like, I could have done that, if that would have been an option. Like, I really think we should be able to turn Vanguards into scraps. Like, there's no reason we can't go to the Black Cat and just give it a scrap or whatever. Exchange shop, whatever it is. Scrap shop, scrap heap, whatever, a junkyard. Like, we do have all those point exchange stuff, but the stuff you can exchange points for is shit. If we could exchange points for scraps, that'd be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That thing in the Young Koropon we never go to unless we need artisans. Like, if we could just exchange for scraps, fuck. I'd have every Vanguard maxed out right now. And people would be incentivized to roll. They would absolutely be like, well, I'm just gonna get scraps. Sure, bring on all the Vanguards you want. You know? Like, or bring on every Ogi that I can trade in that I don't need anymore. Like, if we had a fundamental recycle system to convert into scrap or convert into, I don't know, Daruma points. Right, or well, we don't even need to convert them into scraps. I mean, scraps exist, right? Now, yeah, imagine you could just convert your scrap into, like, if you had a Sublime and you could just, like, give it some, like, Eurozus, like 3 Eurozus, and you give it a Sublime. It's like, here's a new Sublime, like, that you want. Like, that'd be nice. Trade a Sublime for a Sublime. Like, Genshin does that. Genshin has, like, oh, you got this boss drop, you need the other one, just transfer it over, just get this Dream Solvent. You know? Like, I think that'd be wild. Yeah, Dream Solvent for Vanguards, holy shit. Oh, that was a good argument. Good discussion. I love the range of this skill. So it just lets me hit it. Like, I get a little close, bam, I'm in range. What? Hello? When am I gonna stream Genshin? Maybe after I'm 136 and there's an update. I don't know. I'm not really going through the Genshin story very fast. Like, I just made it to Inazuma Town today. Like, I've been exploring the area doing stuff, but I just made it to Inazuma Town or whatever it's called today. I just met a talking dog today. I do have to do Spiral though. I'm getting 2,000 drops an hour. Well, it's closer to like 2,300, but I'm doing 30-second runs. Have I tried to leave the town while exploring? I tried to leave, like, Rito a couple times. Yeah, I'm on technically 400. I'm on a 300% boost, plus, I have the dungeon boost inside, so I'm technically on 400. Ah. I just saw 5 million from Charge Spike. I can't get over that. Yeah. I was trying to go to this, like, boat. The weirdest thing is, like, if you already leave Rito, but then you, like, drive around on a boat, you can go there, like, no problem. Like, I fought the Mechanicus thingy. I went through a portal and fought the boss before I could leave Rito. Well, not before I could leave Rito, but before I got my, like, license. Like, I just delivered Chisato's letter today. And one thing in Genshin is there's a bunch of new achievements for co-op. Me and Eva did them yesterday. It's basically to beat, like, every boss in co-op mode, and you'll get, like, 10 Primo Gems per or something like that. It's either 5 or 10. Like, we beat Azdaha, and we beat it's basically everything from Leeway, like both Hypostasis Cubes, a new one, Primo Bishop, all these bosses, the new Fire Cube, beat them all in co-op and you get like 10 Primo Gems per. It was pretty sick, actually. Like, in terms of Primo Gems, I have 11,000 saved up because I don't want Ayaka, and I don't want the sword, and I don't want a lot of things. Like, but there was some Genshin leaks yesterday. Whew. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy with one of the revelations. Is like, supposedly Sarah is a 4-star, and I'm so happy. I thought every character except Toma and Sayu were 5 stars. That was my impression. But apparently Sarah's a 4-star, and I'm so happy. What time is on this boost? Oh my goodness, 20 minutes, okay. I thought it was still like 30. I feel like on weekends, this should give you, like, rewards for double SSing it and shit. Like, not even for that. Like, there should be a timer. Like, you should have, like, a minute to do this dungeon. If you do it within a minute, you get, like, double S rewards. Like, legit, though, think about this. If they made it so that, okay, you do experience dungeon in, like, a minute. If you do it under a minute, completely doable on PS4. If you do it under a minute, they will give you like an extra 20 tickets. That would be the biggest compromise to stop double dropping. Right there. Like, apart from, you know, you can get banned for it. But, like, realistically speaking, if, like, oh, you did the dungeon in under a minute, like, here's like 20 ticket 3s in reward. Here you go. On top of what we got. Completely fixing everything. Cause like you get 43 tickets running this on maximum boost, and if you did 2 runs, you'd get 86, right? So if you got like an extra 20 at the end just for doing it really quick, then, and you could do it, just don't pick anything up. Just do the dungeon and go back and pick them up after. But if they did something like that, then you'd get like 60 a run. And that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be a 20%, that'd be a 50% increase. And I think everyone would be okay with that. And because they're putting a time limit on it, the people wouldn't get it if they took too long to kill the crystals for some reason. Like the crystals have 1.5 million health and 3 million health. It will not take long. Like, it's just little things like that. That's actually a really good idea. Like, I never thought about that before. Like, let's say you did, like, let's say there was a target time for every dungeon on every difficulty. And let's say you do, like, Saddle Mine under 5 minutes. They just give you, like, an extra boss drop. Well, wouldn't that just be, like, the bee's knees? Like, it would certainly make farming things a lot easier. Like, oh, you did Kaji in under 5 minutes? Like, here's a fucking bandana. Like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I owe you my life. Like, that would actually be awesome. Because then people wouldn't try to, like, oh, I'm gonna wait there and I'm gonna shoot this guy with my bow and hopefully I'll get, like, no, you're not gonna wait like 5 minutes of shooting this thing in the head. Like, you just do it quick, you get your stuff in and out. Done. Done. Done deal. Done deal. And it's non-energy dungeons. It's like they're not even making money off this anyway. Like, oh my god. That'd be so good. Like, I can't believe I never thought of that before. Like, and I did Dark Fin Limited yesterday to help a guy out. I'd never done it before with a limited Dark Fin because I never had a reason to. They added, like, when you beat him, like, a chest appears and you get drops out of the chest. Like, bonus stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what's to stop them from spawning a chest at the end of Experience Dungeon? You break it open and there's extra tickets inside based on what your time was. Like, huh, wouldn't that be nice? And it's affected by your drop boost so that you are, like, more inclined to boost? As if you already didn't need a reason? That'd be awesome. Like 20 at base, like 30 if you boost. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be so fantastic. Oh, that's a good fucking song. Holy shit. Like right now, I'm doing this, bam, a chest pops up. I R1 it. You open it up. Oh, some tickets. Cool, thanks, bye. And the results are based on how fast you were in the dungeon. Oh, it's fantastic. Just a rewards chest at the end. Like, they already have that implemented. It'd be so good. It'd be good for every dungeon. Like, just an extra chance at boss drops. Like, you just did Blitz Tiamat Oni, you didn't get anything from rewards? Well, what do you get in the chest? Like, oh, you got some extra stuff? Cool. Like, that'd be so fun. Based on how fast you were. Like, it would reward good play. More so than, oh, you didn't die. Like, it's not a double S thing. It's not about how many times you died. It's about, did you guys do the dungeon really fast? Good job. Let's reward your good gameplay and using res and all this stuff, not rewarding soul eggs. Like, that'd be awesome. Every dungeon should get that, a time-based rewards chest at the end. And people would just be inclined to run faster. People would want the new mounts. People would spend more money on Moon King or whatever. Like, it'd be cool. It'd be awesome. Yeah. Like, it wouldn't help to get some extra purgatory medals or maybe some extra purgatory drops. Nice. Like, it'd be awesome. Like, oh, you just beat Kage, you're trying to get like a lunar spirit seal. Well, maybe you can get something from the bonus chest because you did the dungeon really fast. Great, here you go. Awesome. Or you want to go faster? Get a Vanguard. Great, I'll get the Vanguard, sure. I mean, we had RTA mode, like, I don't know what's the big deal. Like, make it something reasonable. Like, don't make it something stupid. Like, do experience dungeon in 30 seconds. No. Do experience dungeon in under a minute. Kill everything, go pick up the drops, get your bonus chest. Great. GG. Fuck, I wish that was real. Like, the more I think about it, the more I, like, want it. Remember when Tiamat weapons were only for Odachi and staff? Well, remember that bullshit? I'm trying to think of something else they could do to improve things. I honestly think the rewards chest would just be awesome. Like, in any dungeon, the rewards chest would just be the best thing ever. Like, oh, you're... like, you do Creek and you get, like, an extra chance at Moondew, or maybe it throws you a couple experience tickets. Like, if there was just a bonus chest on every dungeon that gave you extra experience tickets, that'd be amazing. Like, you could use it for anything. Anything at all. Like, because it adds another layer. It's not just, oh, they didn't die. It's, oh, how fast did you do it? Because, like, getting a Skyrunning Fuse recipe is just go through Benkei Factory as fast as possible. And, like, just don't die. RTA Mode 2 would improve things. Like, as much as, like, RTA mode is interesting because they give you finite tools and you had to just get through it the best you could, like basically just incorporate the RTA technology. Like, make sure the clock doesn't tick until you take your first steps through that little veil. Like, that should be in every dungeon because that eliminates load time. Like, put that little veil in there so when people load in, the timer only starts after they start moving. Or, like, at least someone walks through that portal, that's when the timer officially starts moving. Now, why that's horrible is because you can go in there and, like, it would have to be two scenarios, right? It would have to be you go through that little veil or you cast a skill. The minute you cast a skill, the dungeon starts. Or you leave that portal, because someone could just stand behind the portal and first aid themselves and fill up their Vanguard. Like, that's the only flaw in this. So you make it so whenever a skill's cast, or whenever they leave that little veil, that's how it'll work. And then you just give extra rewards at the end of a dungeon based on how fast they went. Right, and then they'd look at time, see how fast people are doing it. And it would have to be a universal standard. It can't just be like, well, this is the average that people are doing. It's like, fuck no. Like, Joe Blow, Johnny Jim, who just started, can't do this dungeon that fast. He doesn't have Miyamoto Musashi. He doesn't have Makami. He doesn't have the horses. Oh, yeah. The top of the I see what you mean. The top of the leaderboard said, "Hey, fix blitz, fix blitz, fix blitz." Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oppenheimer Giga. Yeah. Oh, what time is it? Jeez, midnight. I woke up 12 hours ago. I had a good day today, though. Went out, had some burger with some friends, did a great stream, talked with more friends. Oh. This boost must have like, what, 15 minutes on it? Do you guys have any ideas of things that could be improved in Onigiri? Like what we're talking about? 12 minutes, okay, that's close. Like, basically the point I'm trying to reach is people wouldn't need to glitch if there was an alternative. Like, if they made it so that your stall stayed open one per account all the time, people wouldn't need the stall glitch. Like, it's just shit like that. Like, people don't want to leave their console on all day just to sell some drops. The experience, like, the electric bill is not worth it, you know? You have many ideas, but it doesn't matter? Well, let me hear them, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I spent many a stream talking about a lot of ideas that I saw get implemented. I talked about what mount I wanted, and it was like a water dragon, and they made Leviathan. Like, get this stuff out in the air. Like, seriously. Let me hear. Like, legit though, if I was a developer and I could have an audience of like, 20, 30 people, like just a nice cute audience, and could get feedback from people that are generally interested and not just like a million people saying like 5 words, whatever, like in the intimate kind of stream we have right now, the feedback you get from the dedicated players would be so fundamental. Like, a couple months back, me and Lyra were playing this game, League of Maidens, and Lyra was streaming it, and one of the developers actually was in his chat and was asking him, like, how do you find things? Like, what do you think should happen? And we had a good discussion with them. Like, I was with them in the party. It was really cool. Like, I would love to be spoon-fed feedback. Like, if we can get enough good ideas together, like, alright, what's this? Improve Oni, add a new double ring rift, add a portal to it from Rift 1, new story, first beat Satan, Satan exclusive in Rift 1, time to challenge the heavens. Right, expand the rift, like, give us new areas, expand rift, absolutely. Like, there's no reason they can't put Chifuri at the end of the rift and she takes you to the rift too. Or there's a crystal or whatever. That's absolutely fine. But, like, I was gonna say, like, if we can get a list together of, like, good ideas that are very simplified and make sense, I will compile them and I will, like, send them to Cyberstep on Facebook. Your allies. That sounds like more story stuff than... Right. Somebody said they only reply to me on Twitter. Like, I once told them that it was the my room thing was busted, and they asked me about it, and I didn't say anything. I never really tried it, but like, if like, we're not asking, like, obviously in this list it's not going to say make the Nian cheaper, make OC restores cheaper. Like, it's not going to be stuff like that that loses them revenue, because that's what killed PC. When PC had 30 OC restores like we did, they generated money. But the minute they switched to 10 OC restores, people are getting shit done way too fucking quick. Holy fuck, the player base started dying. Like, talking mechanically, like what I suggested with the time-based reward chest at the end of a dungeon, I think that's super good. Like, for every dungeon, just, like, evaluate the rewards that they have, and, like, just give you an extra boss drop or whatever. Like, based on how fast you went. Like, all the early dungeons, you just put a blanket, whatever the boss drops are, plus, like, do it in under, like, 10 minutes, and you're good. Like, that's all it has to be. And then anything, like, above, I don't know. It's actually quite a lot of work. Like, it's one thing to say experienced dungeon, give them, like, an extra drops at the end or whatever, but, like, it would take a lot of work. I could see it only being used for, like, the Oni mode dungeons, like the big boss drops and, like, other things and new stuff, but I think it's a really good idea. But yeah, like, what kind of ideas do we have to, like, make the game better? Improve a lot of things. Like, number one, what's on there for me is let me turn excess vanguards into scraps. Please, let me turn extra vanguards into scraps. That's what I want. I know that one costs them money, but at that point, people would be willing to spend if they could just get scraps. Like, absolutely. Because I can't get scraps stops me from spending. It's like, I don't want another fucking Miyamoto. I don't want another Lancelot. No, you're crazy, lady. I want the other one. And no, I'm not going to turn a Vanguard into fucking 30 whatevers in the exchange thingy. It's a waste of time. Yeah, so if you get some ideas, throw them at me. Let's hear. Like, number one stuff, like, straight up, let's just take from Genshin Impact, like, really quickly. Like, dungeon restarting. At the end of a dungeon, you can just hit restart and, like, go into the dungeon again. Like, you just get a choice. Like, I beat this dungeon, woohoo, there's a blue portal over there. Now there's a red portal right here. I go into the red portal. It asks me, do you want to redo the dungeon? Yes. Okay. Spend energy? Yep. Okay. All right. Let's go. Redo the dungeon. Reload it. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Like, that's what I want. That's a fucking number one thing I want. Just like, skip this whole, like, leave the dungeon, talk to Chifuri, Go wait for the list to load. Go down here. Find the fucking thing I want. Go over. Like, no, 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 no. If I want to leave, I'll leave. Let me redo the damn dungeon. And then number 2, condensed energy. Like, let us turn energy into restores. Like, if we're not playing today, let me turn energy into restores. Straight up. Like, what's it to you whether I use it or not? Like, it's either I use it today and do something I don't need or whatever, or I save it for the weekend when I can play. Oh, condensed energy. Absolutely. Turn energy into restores. Turn money into Ryu chests. Like, reverse engineering energy and reverse engineering Ryu. Turning experience into boost. No, it doesn't fucking work. Evil. Right. Like, yeah. If they added more story and stuff, that's ultimately a big win. Holy Jesus. Where am I? Right, like, yeah, adding more to the story, that's a given. We really need to get out of this event purgatory, like, thing, where, like, the events, like, don't expand the story. They just expand it, but not in the forward direction and in every other direction. Like, it gets wider instead of, like, reaching our destination. Watch them be like, well, the writer for Onigiri quit, so we don't know. Like, we just make events, man. So my big ones are time-based rewards from a chest at the end of the dungeon, energy or dungeon restart. Yeah, Elder Purgatory would be fucking fun, honestly. Imagine an Elder Rich weapon. Dungeon restart, time-based dungeon rewards, like turning energy into energy restoratives, and turning Ryu back into chests so it can be stored indefinitely. Because once you're at Ryu cap, you have to do something with it, and sometimes you don't, and you just want to like turn it into, like, you just go to, it's so easy. You just go to Moroku and buy mill chest. It costs $1 million. Done. 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 It's so easy. And if you wanted to, let's say they made a dungeon where you could convert energy into a 100 energy restore or a 50 energy restore. I mean, it's probably going to be 50 because I don't know how they're going to determine the values, because you wouldn't want all these different values of energy, but if they did like energy 50s or 100s, they just make a dungeon that takes 100 energy, you go in, you kill a crystal, and you get 100 energy in a reward. Like, that's it. That's all they'd have to do. You'd use the energy, you'd get the energy. You'd convert it for later. Like, it'd be that easy. Like, they wouldn't even have to do anything. That's the beauty of it. You just go into a dungeon like this. Oh, there's a crystal at the end. It has 1 health. You kill it. Hey, you just got 100 energy restore. Yay. Shit, 55 seconds. 55 seconds. That's... What? Oh, Mags. I thought you said Mats. I was like, holy shit. Yogg Mats? I'm about to do something stupid. I'm gonna go in here with like 40 seconds on this boost. If I can get in there quick enough. And I'm just gonna hit everything. And get my drops after. Yeah, dark other side. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, especially if they're not gonna like bring it back. Holy shit. Go super fast. Go super fast. Go fast. I did it. Oh my god, I had 1 second left. Wee. Oh, I guess I picked everything up really quick, huh? Okay. Another hour done. It's some muggy in my house. Oh my goodness. But that's a good idea. Like, imagine like Druma points to get the stuff that makes Supreme, things like that. I still think the monster card trader, you get enough monster cards for somebody and you can get like other stuff. They do collabs with Vocaloids and stuff. I don't know how that works, but Voiceroids or whatever. Vanguard Kaching. Yeah, holy fuck, 25? That's the fastest I've ever run this ever in an hour. 2.5 billion? Or, no, 25 billion. You just want a Neotero, but the body party isn't helping? I would help you join a body party. I would join a body party for you, but I learned I can't. If I go into a body party and do experience dungeon, it puts me out on channel 1, and that would cause me to DC too much. Cut into my lag. Like, it would cut into my loading times. Like, it actually drove me right mad. I helped a guy out. I helped a guy do that the other day. Oh my god, it was getting me mad. I stuck it through for the hour because he needed it, but I can't do it. Because it kept putting me on channel 1. I guess. Well, they just need to make more porn of Itako. Name. Right, like, honestly, Onigiri and Sword Art Online, but good luck getting that. Maybe Overlord? I mean, if AFK Arena can get Overlord, we can get Overlord. I think we only need like 7 billion to level. Holy fuck, we're close. We need 10. Yeah, we need 7 billion. Holy shit. I didn't think it'd be this close. That's the thing about experience, it comes a lot closer than you think. Yeah. I have 500 left? Wait, what am I doing? Sure. Really? Okay, so how we looking, boys? We need 5 billion. No, 4.1. 4.1 billion. Not even 5. Oh, 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 shit. Holy fuck. How long's this stream? Jeez, 2.5 hours? Wow, that's really good. Momotaro, or whatever your name is, Morocco. Bargains, baby. Fuck. Daybreak has come. Oh, I think I have enough OC to do this. If I just, like, stop. Okay. 500 tickets. Not even 500 tickets. 400 tickets. What's so funny? So, to put this in perspective, guys, I started this, like, streaming thing at, half my bar. I was about here. I was about here when I started. I love this song. Oh my god. I was about here when I started, and now we're like, we've gotten like 100 million experience. Holy shit. Fuck. Imagine if I got donations. Holy shit. Ah. Nice. Thanks, Flame. So what I'm thinking is this stream is not going to be like sustainable. Like this stream's gonna crash at any time because we're 2.5 hours in. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm going to end this stream, go to the bathroom, drink some water, whatever, and then I'll make a new stream just titled Leveling to 136. Just like precautiously, because I don't want to DC like mid-run or whatever, do like 8 streams. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take like a little 5 minutes here to compose myself and just take a break, eat something, and we'll start a new stream in about 5-6 minutes. Probably be less than that, to be honest. And then we'll just call it Leveling to 136. I'll do that. I'll probably pop a 200% boost, something I can get rid of, and then we'll run for whatever I need, and then I'll stop. And we'll look at like 136 and shit. So I think that's how it's gonna go. Hopefully if you guys will come back, that'd be great. I appreciate it. If not, I'm sure you'll see the stream in the morning. Yeah, I gotta go like wash my face and stuff. So I'll end the stream here, and we'll be coming back after a little break. So hopefully you guys come back, and yeah, we'll hit that 136. I'll give my game a full reset.